All right. So, Randy, here's the thing to remember. There's something off about this place. But sort of time is of the essence. There's no time to dilly-dally. So this part of the game is a little more free-form.
Okay.
Kind of like the first season of Harbingers where I GM'd, when you're sort of wandering through that like weird spiritual world. So you do have a goal, which for you is, you've decided is like getting Ghost Rock and bringing it back to the ship. So that you guys can make your rendezvous by 3 p.m. How you do that is up to you, like how this looks, and like have fun with this section of like the solo role playing. Like you can describe your internal thoughts, take us through what you're seeing, like describe stuff to us, how you're feeling, all that stuff. It's just you. There's no one else to like share the spotlight.
Okay.
So you're off to find Ghost Rock. What are you taking?
I'm taking a pickaxe and maybe 2 glow sticks just in case. I'm trying to stay not too far from the ship, but obviously following the veins of Ghost Rock and trying to find a good deposit that looks like it'll yield a decent amount. So I guess the first thing would be to notice and try to figure that out.
Do you you don't have any science skills, do you?
No, but I do have occult and common knowledge.
Okay, I'll take a common knowledge roll.
Okay. Yeah.
As you set off, you start to walk away from the perfection, and from the outside it sits. It's like all crappy and dinged up looking. Faint glow from inside through the windows, where the power is like flickering.
I got an 8.
An 8. So this is Ghost Rock. You've seen like this black shiny Ghost Rock before, but this one has that sort of like flecked with green, and you've seen this before. It's irradiated. That's not necessarily the worst thing in the world, but you do know that it has radiation in it, and that obviously could be bad.
Yeah.
So you're gonna want to be careful, and with radiation, too much time around it can be difficult.
All right.
And obviously, you would know that near the Ghost Rock that's irradiated, the radiation will be worse.
All right. What helps someone withstand radiation? Like what kind of roll do you roll when you...
I see. Vigor.
Vigor. Sort of knowing that he's going to close his eyes, really focus in and think what he can do to sort of try to bolster his immune system as much as he can. He's like, that sounds stupid, but maybe, just maybe. And he pulls out his book and starts flipping through the boost lower trait.
Okay.
He's looking to raise vigor, but he's trying to find something that might work. And he just sort of finds this one page and he's like, maybe this one. He closes his eyes and
this is the like kid transforming to an animal book?
Yeah, multiple animals, yes. It's like a group of kids fighting some kind of alien. It's a sci-fi book.
Okay.
It's got a lot of different stuff. Right. But like, aliens are weird. There's some radiation in there. There's all kinds of stuff.
Okay. Sure.
But this specific one, he's just trying to find something that would like bolster his resolve to like try to do this as long as he can to hold out. So that would be a bibliopathy roll to try to talk to this spirit. Please, give me something that'll work. I need to be doing this and I need to get as much as I can. I can't do this all day. What does the spirit say?
What does the spirit... Does it normally talk back to you?
It could. And let's say in this instance, surrounded by all of this, I think it would make sense for it to.
Okay. It's, you're just hearing, like, whispers, and then you don't so much hear something out loud, but more in your head, sort of like the mind link that Kesh has to you, and it just says like page 73, page 73, page 73, fourth paragraph.
All right.
Okay, what does that fourth paragraph say?
The fourth paragraph is actually...
What part of the book is this? You've read this book a million times.
Yeah, this is one of the adventures where the kids are fighting inside this alien base. Mm-hmm. It's all exaggerated, mm-hmm. but what he comes to here is actually this moment where a few of these kids have been through all this shit. Mm-hmm. And they're beaten up and tired, and all of them are ready to give up. And this one girl, she stands among her friends and gives this sort of speech that's like, why are we doing this? Mm-hmm. What is the reason that we continue to try to do this? Because without it, the rest of the world goes to shit. These aliens take over. They do whatever. What he doesn't know in that moment, and where the spirit probably is the most strong, is that paragraph. Because what it is it was probably a part that some little kid read and it like stuck out to them and really meant something to him. But for him, especially after the ordeal he just went through and feeling like he is starting to lose a bit of why he's doing this, it hits him differently than it's ever hit him before. He reads the line of why these like imaginary kids are doing this thing that's fucking ridiculous, and he's like, I couldn't even keep my vow to try to protect all of that knowledge. And for a second he falters, and he closes his eyes and he tries to focus. Why am I doing this? And then the faces of the people from the ship who have started to mean more like family to him than he's ever seen, right, begin to pop in his head.
And you can hear that mental that mental voice, that book spirit speaking to you, and it just says, last line. And you look at the last line of the paragraph, and it says, but we have to keep on fighting because we still have hope.
And he takes that pickaxe, he swings it as hard as he can and begins just chunking away.
Nice. And as you're chipping away at this thing, you're getting like flashes of something that isn't part of the book at all. The book is like aliens in space, like kids transforming into animals. But this, with every chip away at this wall, you're getting flashes of something that isn't fantastical. It's of a young boy sitting on like this blue and white plaid couch, and like it's nice outside. They're like birds chirping, but he's like curled up, like in pajamas at the end of this couch, and to you he looks tired, and you sort of realize that he's been up all night reading this book, and he's like riveted. You're like getting the image. And you sort of realize that your like point of view is like up at this kid, like you're the book's point of view, and you can see him like sort of like tearing up reading this paragraph, and you sort of hear like faint off, you hear someone say like, Esteban, it's breakfast. Are you still reading? It's like 3 more minutes, Mom. And then it sort of clicks out, and you can just feel stronger. And when you look down, you normally have that weird like superimposed image, like the Arthurian sword when you're fighting in Smite, and sometimes an animal when you're boost straight. But this time, it looks like you're wearing like glowing pajamas, but you just feel safe as you chip away at this rock. Can you give me your vigor roll?
Yeah.
Okay, you had your bibliopathy roll. It was
a 10.
A 10. Okay, so that's a
+2.
+2 to your
vigor. To the vigor.
Okay,
yeah.
So this is your vigor roll for spending. This is already like an hour of chipping away.
All right, we're gonna need a Benny on that.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Oh, actually, you keep that Benny because I wanted to give you a Benny for that that remembrance.
Thank you. Yeah, much better. That's a 7.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's a success. You had to go a good 300, 400 yards into these twisting tunnels to find a vein that wasn't spider thin that you could chip away at. Mm-hmm. So why don't you give me an athletics roll to mine this?
Whoa.
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh, that wasn't enough. 7.
Okay. There's a lot of rock in with this ore, but you have a good basketball-sized pile. You could keep going, but that Killian can't start his process if you don't bring him anything to start with.
All right.
Did you, by any chance, bring a bag or something to put this rock in?
If I would, yes, I would have tried to, but I don't think I said it. So,
all right. So it's one of those things where you're like, yes.
Oh
no! So it's you're just.
I'm putting it in pockets.
Putting it in pockets. What do you want to do now?
I guess I head back to the ship and grab some. I would love to see if there's any way I can find some closer to the ship, but if not, then I'd have to make another trip or two.
Yeah, you can make a notice roll on the way back. It seems almost like a faint wailing coming from your pockets. It's not this ghost rock, just 8
+ 5 I'm not 13.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like about halfway back you see some that's much, it's only 200 yards away, but it's just high. It's maybe 15 feet up, but it looks like maybe you could crawl up there.
Okay.
As you're walking back though, give me a notice roll.
Nice. 15.
Okay. It seems like there are faces in the side of this rock. Just when you have those bad dreams and it looks like people's faces are stretched and twisted, as you look up at the rocks, that's what all these rocks look like. It's just the natural formation of the internal caverns of this, but they all seem to almost scream out. And then it seems like something moves out of the corner of your eye, down one of the tunnels, the small tunnels.
Oh shit. Fuck. Alright, I'm gonna hurry back to the ship with this, but then I'm gonna have to come back out here with a bucket.
Okay.
Or whatever the equivalent of grabbing rocks holder would be.
Okay. Yeah, you drop it off and come back with a bucket. Are you going to the nearer?
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
Okay. You walk back out, the sound of your feet just softly crunching, and you can hear the far off howling of the storm still going on, but it's just so freaking quiet out here. It's every sound of your feet on the ground makes the loudest crunch in the world. Just feels off out here.
Can I do a notice roll to try to see if I see anything moving around?
Sure.
That's a 6.
It doesn't... You feel like you saw something move, but high up in the cavern, in the darkness, but it just felt like something...
Do I risk it?
You definitely need more ghost rock than this.
All right. I guess I gotta. There's not much time. All right, I'm gonna start trying to climb up.
Yeah, give me an athletics check.
Nice. That's 12, 18, plus 4.
It's literally chipping out spots with your pickaxe, and you make and you find a little ledge, and this vein is a good foot across, but there is a lot more radiation here.
Okay.
So I need a vigor roll.
Okay. That's a 7.
Okay, that's still good. Give me an athletics check, and I'm gonna say it's gonna take about 10 minutes to collect enough to fill your backpack. But with every success, I'll take away the amount of minutes that you need.
Okay. So on number 1, that's 9. Second time. Ooh. That's 6 plus 5, 11.
Okay.
3 is 5.
Okay, so that's 5 successes.
That's yes, it is.
Great. All right, let's say it takes you about half the time that it normally would, but that is going to require this area, because of the potency of the irradiated ghost rock. It's you need to make a vigor roll for every minute, so that's 5 vigor rolls.
All right. 5 vigor rolls. That does not sound like it's okay. 8 plus 5.
Just looking for a pass every time.
Okay, that's a pass. That's 1. That's a pass. I don't.
You're acing your vigor rolls?
I'm aced on 2 different die, but yes.
Great.
2 more, I think. Yeah. This.
Dude. I don't think it's a waste to use it on these vigor rolls.
And then, this is the most I've rolled the entire game. Okay. I mean,
you can just like you're sitting there and like you're like taking a bath in this radiation basically.
Yeah.
You don't need your glow stick here because it is like glowing here. But like you just like every time you feel like it should be too much, you just hear that voice in your head again say Esteban. And you just feel like, no, it's gonna be fine. And like these big chunks, like some of them the size of like baseballs come out, like no rock on them, just like pure ghost rock, irradiated ghost rock, and just bare hand this irradiated ghost rock and chuck it in your...
That's gonna be bad for later, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do I need to try to climb down?
Yeah.
That's not as...
I'm going to give you a -2 because you have a bucket of ghost rock.
Yeah, it makes total sense. That's... You said -1?
2.
-2? Yeah, that's a 0.
Okay. You go to climb down and you just like slip, dump the rocks everywhere.
Great. That's so ridiculous.
And you fall and you like definitely twist your ankle. That's a fatigue.
Okay. I thought I was doing great, and then I didn't stick the landing.
Yeah.
I didn't stick the landing.
And you begin to limp back to the ship.
All right.
You hear like some sounds of like rock and like some pebbles and like a couple larger rocks fall down like down the side of this. Give me a notice roll.
Yeah, you're about to try to kill me, man. 8. Where you go? This dice is nice today. 8, 3, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11.
You look up, and there's definitely like a shape up there for a second. But then you look harder.
Oh wait, no, it's a 10. It's a 10 though.
But you look harder, and maybe that's just a rock.
Can I try to hurry back? But like this.
Give me an athletics check. But
yeah,
got that.
But I have a messed up leg. Yeah. That's a 4.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you just like push through and drop back.
Okay.
And you make it back. All right. Let's go meet with somebody else.
Yeah.
Okay. So everyone begins to leave the perfection. You see Miguel with a pickaxe walk off in one direction down a tunnel that's particularly green and glowy.
Okay. Great.
Which way do you want to go?
I mean, I think I'd send Aster and I off probably behind the ship.
Okay.
Kind of backtrack where I think we came from to see if we can find the communication array that way.
It's only about 100 yards before the main canyon seems to split both ways, and it's hard to tell which way the ship came to begin with.
Okay. So I guess I would probably if there's a way, when the canyon splits, is it like, it's like if we went down those two opposite directions, we would no longer be able to see each other, right?
Right.
Okay. Then I'll just tell Aster, all right, you go off to the right, I'll go to the left. But don't go far. If you get out of range, then come back.
Okay. Oh, and I forgot to tell you that just in general for this section, there's something off about this place.
Okay.
But remember that there's no time to dilly-dally. Time is of the essence.
Okay.
And this bit of the game is freeform, kind of like the first season of Harbingers where you guys were in like the dream world. So you do have a goal, find your comms array, and then subsequently make it to the rendezvous by 3 p.m. But how you like accomplish this bit of it is up to you.
Oh, sounds
cool. Okay, yeah. You had left. This area, this cavern. It's almost sort of like Grand Canyon-y, like red-brown rock, craggy but worn down. Except there are these like splotches of like that black and gray rock that's like flecked with green, sometimes veined with green, so it glows in weird places.
Okay. Well, the first thing that I think you would notice about Jexa whenever she gets out of the range of Aster is her demeanor just kind of, it's just like she powers down a little bit. She doesn't, like if Spectre comes around and she's talking to Spectre, she kind of lights back up, but she just kind of powers down. It almost seems like this is maybe the first time we're really seeing Jexa at her sort of resting state, and she just seems sad. She seems like she's just kind of like going through the paces. She's trying to keep her crew alive, but when it comes to her relationship with herself, she doesn't even seem to have one.
Okay.
Yeah, and then basically she's trying to do a little bit of double duty. If something seems off, she wants to know what it is, and she would definitely pursue anything that like stood out to her as strange, with the caveat that she is trying to hurry and find this comms array and get back to her crew. So she would be trying to move at a quick pace.
Okay. Yeah. There's some stuff that seems off right away, but it's hard to tell if it's the Wasted West or not. The walls of this place, to you, it looks like all the weird bits of rock that stick out, they look like abnormally long hands. Like, instead of having 3 joints, they've got like 7. And the little spires seem to form long claws. And it just feels like all the time you hear like... Seems like it's just the storm, but those wails, it sounds like pain.
Can I go over to the crags kind of as I'm walking along and just like, I just want to like touch them and see what they're, I assume it's ghost rock. I assume it's rock.
Yeah, most of it's rock, and there are like bits of ghost rock around.
Okay, so it's just like a hard surface.
But there are some sections that have a lot more ghost rock than others.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like Jexa would know that there's a lot of weird stuff that tends to come with ghost rock, so she's not necessarily spooked. She's definitely creeped out by the environment, but she's not like nervous of the ghost rock per se, outside of how volatile she knows it can be. But yeah, she would just keep going, but keeping kind of her eyes open. And she would also ask Spectre, she would say, Spectre, why don't you fly ahead just a little bit and see if I can get a little bit of light.
Like just ahead of you, so...
Yeah, probably like have her fly like a yard ahead of me or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that she can kind of like add some light off in the distance and just see if anything comes up before me.
Sure. It's pretty rough terrain. It looks like this part of the canyon like slopes upwards. So I'll take an athletics roll as you have to like sort of boulder up.
Okay. Athletics. That's a 4.
Great. Yeah, you still got it. You don't go on away missions as much as
I work out.
else, but yeah. Well, you go and Spectre like floats before you, and there's a particularly tough spot. I'll turn around and go.
Okay. Spectre, you seeing anything? Okay, I'll take. Yeah, I'd say it's pretty creepy about here as well. Well, I think it's all right. I don't think you need to be worried. I'm sure. All right, just keep your eyes open.
Yeah, Spectre floats on up, and you come to a place, and there's like a bunch of like it looks like it's got to be fresh rock that's broken off the side of a canyon because everything's more dull and parts of it are more bright. But
Okay.
this bit has a lot of ghost rock, and the whole area like glows green.
How big is this piece?
This piece is about this
Oh,
big.
it's not okay. It's not big enough to take. I mean, I definitely think she would eyeball it.
Okay.
She would if there's anything to like notice, maybe she would try.
Okay. Yeah.
To
Give me a notice roll.
She is not very noticey. Ooh, she's gonna spend a Benny.
Okay.
Nope, she got a 3.
Okay.
Alas. I don't know what it is. Do you know what it is? I don't know what it is. All right, keep going. Yeah, I'll just go on ahead if
Yeah. As you pass by that piece, you can just feel it feels like almost hot, and I need you to make a bigger roll.
Oh God. Ooh, I aced it. That is a 7.
Nice. And give me a common knowledge roll.
Common knowledge. 4.
You feel okay, and as you pass it, you realize like it's got to be a rad patch. You know, like the area around the irradiated ghost rock is like particularly, irradiated. So
Yeah. Okay.
it's like worse around those bits.
Okay. Yeah. Once I put that together, I try to give it a wide berth.
Spectre like floats back next to him and goes,
I mean, if you want to go get some more radiation to add to your cloud, go by all means.
and like sort of like squishes down on it.
Okay. I like to imagine it's like a pig in mud.
Yeah, just like rolls around in it. Spectre hangs out there for a little while as you continue up. You see about, like 30 yards further down the canyon, you see another couple chunks. This isn't as quite as irradiated, but give me another notice roll.
Okay. 3.
Okay.
Don't notice.
You see it, but
I see it. Yeah, I just give it a wide berth.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
just to be safe, but
Yeah.
it seems just the same as the last one to me. So
Yeah.
here's another one for you, Spectre, if you want to get a little more radiation. You don't like that one? All right, then don't. That's fine.
Yeah, and it just floats right there, right in front of you. As you continue on,
Okay.
you hear some rocks fall down.
Oh, I would stop and take a look around.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it?
Does Spectre have its own notice?
Yeah. Has pretty much all of its own stats. Let's see, where is your notice? Ooh, aced it. Ooh, that is an 11. Spectre? What is it? Are you scared? What are you scared of, rocks? Something up high? All right, that's a good point. Maybe we should take some cover? All right, well, you're no help.
Yeah. Can you give me a notice roll?
Yeah. I think Spectre's notice is better than mine. Ooh, but I aced it! Ooh, I aced it again! Ooh, I aced it again! Oh my god, okay, that was 13.
Okay. Yeah. It seems like you thought you saw like a dark shape up high, like almost on top of the mesa. A couple 100 feet above you.
Okay.
And like maybe that's what kicked some rocks down or something.
Okay.
But it's not there now. Like it's just like a flash.
All right. All right, Spectre, maybe we should keep our eyes peeled. She's also going to... yeah, keep your eyes peeled. I mean, yours are kind of already peeled in a weird little creepy way. Yeah. She's also going to send... Through the mind link, she's going to reach out to Aster and just say, keep your eyes up high. I think there might be some things that are knocking rocks over at the very least, if nothing worse.
Definitely going to remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, you have like an eidetic memory for things said, right?
Yeah,
Is that how
that's
that
right.
works?
Yeah. Continue on, and you see before you another, it's maybe several hundred yards more, and again you see a bunch of larger rocks that look freshly shearing off the canyon. Give me a notice roll.
Okay. What is it, Spectre? Oh, God, I got a 2. I do not notice. I'll spend 1 Benny.
Okay.
Oh, God. I got a 4, thank God. And another 4. Okay, so that is 11.
You notice, now that you're thinking about it, and you sort of look down, they're like not on one side of the canyon, there are not a lot of outcroppings, and on the other side there are. And there are big chunks that look lighter than the dark, like weather-worn surroundings of the canyon wall. And that's sort of on one side of the canyon wall, that's where all these rocks are. And you sort of look down again, and there's like just a little bit of metal that's about the same color as the perfection. That's sort of like crinkled up, like a tin can and stuck on this rock.
Okay. She's going to reach out to Aster again and just say, I think I got it. And then I'm going to go and try and see what I got and send Spectre up a little higher to see if there's any debris or anything that we need to take note of that's like up on the mesa.
Okay. Spectre floats up and you see this small little green blob just like sort of pop out and away for a second. Feels kind of quiet and lonely without Spectre sitting here. Spend a lot of time alone, really.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. It's pretty common. It's a little easier to be alone, but I do like having Spectre around to make it feel a little less lonely. It's just easier being alone. You have to put on a brave face for everyone else when you're not alone. So she doesn't. She doesn't have to right now. But she is worried about what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Can you give me a notice roll?
Yeah. She got a 2.
Okay.
Her notice sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. Spectre floats back down.
What'd you find? All right. You seem happy. And lots of wind is what I'm getting from you. And maybe, okay. Did you also see any parts of the ship? Yes. I'm going to say that's yes. Okay, good. Is it a large chunk of the ship? Very large. Okay, it looks like it's a bit large. So that means it's a circle. Did you find the satellite itself? All right, but it's a big circle? All right, that sounds like you did. That means we're going to have to climb. All right, then she's going to, once again, reach out to Aster just to make it hard on you. No, that's not my reason. But she's going to reach out to Aster and say, I think it's time for you to come back. I think I got it, and I'm going to need some help climbing.
You feel like, just like a faint headache. And it seems like somebody's talking, but like from like 8 rooms over. You hear like,
Oh, I can't hear you. Aster, is that you? All right, well, I'm going to start trying to climb. She's impulsive. She should wait. Yeah, she's going to go ahead because she doesn't want to wait. She feels like there's a pressure. She's going to start trying to climb up and see if she can find this array.
Okay, give me an athletics.
5.
Okay. Yeah. You climb up. And as you climb up, you realize Spectre doesn't take you all the way to the top. It just like come up about 30 feet, and there's like another sort of narrow ledge, just a crack in the rock, and sort of zooms along that, and then comes back and goes.
Okay. Then I will follow Spectre in as much as I can.
Sure.
Yeah.
Can you give me a vigor roll? You've been out here for a little bit of time now. You
Yeah.
gotta see how the radiation's treating you.
Hopefully well. Ooh, I aced it. That's a 9.
Great. Yeah, it's not bugging you right now. Give me another notice roll.
Okay. That is a 5.
Man, you just get just that feeling where there's like eyes on you.
She's going to just take a moment out of frustration and say, listen here, if there's somebody out here watching me, why don't you just make yourself known now? Might as well. Well, then we can at least have a conversation before you jump out and scare me. All right, it's okay, Spectre. Oh, I see you're helping. Okay, very good, Spectre. Good job. Yes, you are so vicious. You give him those eyes when you're so vicious like that. Look at you. Look at you doing so good being vicious. Then she realizes that she's still in the middle of something and waits to see if anybody says anything.
It's just so freaking quiet. Like, apart from the howling wind above, it's a little bit louder here.
Yeah.
But just like the weird, like, dark shapes in the hands. Some of them look like mouths with teeth. But it's fucking creepy. Then you sort of notice off to the side, it looks like a crevice that goes back away, and there's something like shiny in there.
I'd try to get a bit of a closer look at it.
Okay.
Just to see if I can, like, see in. You see what that is, Spectre? Get in there a little bit. See if we can get your light to light it up. Yeah, you. You'll be just fine. I'll come with you, but you go first. You're a radiation cloud. Nothing's gonna get you. You're gonna get it. Yeah.
And it floats along in front of you, and you can see this. It's like craggy, but it's pretty well worn in here.
Okay.
And it floats up, and there's definitely like something's shiny, and Spectre gets in there and goes.
Yeah, I would follow Spectre if nothing jumps out at her, I guess, and see if I can tell what it is.
Yeah. Okay. You you get in there, and it looks like this little sort of enclosed, almost like a cave. You can't see up and you can't see down. It's like where the crack finally bottoms out. There's a lot of ghost rock, irradiated ghost rock here.
Hi.
Do you want to go into it?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, give me your vigor roll.
Oh, God. Ooh, boy, she's gonna use her last penny. That was not good. Okay, I got a 4.
Okay. You go in, and you can just feel it. But what you see are like on the ground where Spectre's sort of looking at, and it's green glow, sort of highlighting at it, and keeps looking back at you. There are a few like sort of oblong, softball-sized objects on the ground that have like a faint luminosity to them.
I would get closer to them.
Sort of like a dull pearl color.
Okay. I mean, she would probably like go up and kind of like push one with her foot.
Yeah, it's got like a slight give to it. And when you pull your foot away, it seems like some of that shit's on your foot now. It's like slimy yet somehow sticky at the same time.
I think maybe we might have found some eggs or something, Spectre. Anything you seen before? All right. Me neither. I say maybe we should get out of this place. Well, just in case we found a nest of some sort. Yeah, we don't want to get caught by anything. Up?
there's like 300 of these things.
All right. I think we should be a bit quieter as well, Spectre. Fuck. This is just the kind of shit Maria always told me I'd get myself into. Damn it. It's all right, Spectre. We just got to get out of here, and you got to be quiet, all right? You be quiet. I'm being quiet. Yeah. And then she's going to turn around and go back the way she came.
Okay.
As quietly as possible.
Yeah. Spectre keeps bumping into you and going,
What? I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine, Spectre. I'm fine. I'm fine. I just don't want to get eaten by whatever this thing's parents is. I don't want you to get eaten either. What do you want? I use your inside words.
okay. Just bounces to you and he keeps going.
I don't want to talk about Maria. I said I don't want to. She's dead, Spectre. I'm sorry, it's not your fault. I just don't like thinking about it, and here's not the place. What do you want me to talk about? You just want me to tell you a bedtime story. It's not your bedtime. It's not my bedtime either. All right, so let's see there. Well, there was that one time that Maria and I had decided to take that four-wheeler up to Flag Mountain, and it was, of course, before, it was before we had Rachel, and so we got on that four-wheeler, and we went all the way up to the top of the mountain. Took us, what, I don't know, maybe an hour to get up there, and then once we did, well, that was a good day. That was the day that, that was the day that Maria proposed during lunch, which was quite lovely, yes. Yes, that was a good day indeed. It was. But then, of course, you can't forget the part when we got back to the four-wheeler, the tire was popped, and we had no way to communicate to anyone and no way to get down the mountain. So we had to push it and then ride it down the hills and then push it up the next hill and ride it down the next hill and push it up. And it took us a good 5 hours just to get back down the mountain, but we survived. We did it, and we got Rachel. And then one day I found you, and now here I am telling you this story about my dead wife and dead daughter. Can we now get out of here? Thank you, Spectre. She's grumpier now.
I'll give you a Benny for that.
Thank you. For the grumpiness.
Yeah, for the grumpiness. You begin to make your way back.
Okay. Yeah, and then I want to get out of that place and then try to continue climbing up the rest of the way.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Should I make a climbing roll for that, or does it already count?
Yeah. No, you're up. And actually,
Okay.
As you make your way back, you're about to climb back down, and Spectre goes, "Woo!"
What?
Spectre, as you're about to turn and go down, he goes back the way he came and goes, "Woo!"
What? We just left there. There's some kind of egg or something in there. Is this a new way, or is that the same way that from before?
That's the same way from before.
All right. I don't know what you want. Okay. All right. You say it's down here? What? All right. So she will follow.
Okay. Give me an athletics check. Spectre starts moving pretty fast now.
Okay. Ooh, that's a 4.
Yeah. It's almost like a slight jog. And about another 300 yards further away from the ship, there's another big Y area where two canyons emerge, and it looks like just on the other side of the narrow gap you're in, the communications array is sitting there. It's like it's sheared right off.
Good job, Spectre. What would I do without you? I don't know either. This communications array is, I meant to say this before we left, that she would bring the hover thing but I guess she wouldn't have been able to bring that up the mountain, so we'd have to go back for it. How big is the communications
It's
array.
about this big.
So it's like something I could carry.
You could carry it.
But trying to get it back
It'll be
down.
a little difficult, but...
Yeah, I mean, that's what she's going to try to do. She's actually going to use her jacket, and she's going to take it off and try to tie it around this thing so that she can kind of like loop it in one arm while she climbs down.
Okay. Yeah, you get it up, just get it all together or whatever. And you get it on your back, and then you hear like... It's like another rock fall down the other way, the way that you didn't come.
Phew, I think we're lucky, Spectre. I think we should hurry and get back. Still haven't heard from Aster, though. Yeah. All right, let's climb back down.
Okay, give me an athletics check. Give me a -2 on that.
Ooh, no. Ooh, good, I aced it. 9, so that would be a 7.
It's tough, but so are you. And you begin to make your way back
Okay.
to the ship. I think I would like to see Adam next.
Adam, all right. Oh,
Give you Spectre back.
hey, Spectre.
That was fun.
That was fun. Thank you.
All right, so everyone has left the Perfection. One of the last people to leave is Miguel, who trudges out. And you know it's going to be at least some time before he finds Ghost Rock and brings it back, and you can start brewing your shriek.
Sure.
What do you want to do in the meantime?
I mean, I would definitely go with what he thinks would be best, and that's just seeing any systems that he could potentially work on until Miguel gets back. That's
Sure.
always just kind of like his thought process, and that's what we have to get done. So if there's anything that he can potentially do on the inside of the ship, that's what I'd be doing.
Okay. Why don't you give me a notice roll at a +2? You know the ship really well.
Sure.
It's mostly works all the time, but you're always tinkering around.
It's a 7.
Okay. So there are a few things. There's definitely some repairs you can do in there. Why don't you tell me what
Yeah,
is going on?
I feel like some of the coolant going back into the engine and everything. Like there was one of the valves that went off earlier with that. That could definitely be fixed. Also, I know like there on the outside there is like some shielding, and you know we're able to bring up a little bit of extra shielding as well too. Some of the controls were like sparking from that. So
Sure.
cross doing some wires, stripping wires, putting them back. Putting everything kind of like back into order as best that I can. Jerry rigging some stuff around as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, he goes back into, and a lot of that you can find that in the control or in the a lot of that back in the engine room, and that's where he feels most comfortable with everything. So that's where he would start with everything.
Okay.
Finding any other wirings that he can, and just more tubage and connecting it to other pieces, breaking pieces off that he knows that this power source to here, we're not really going to need something such as that, but just manipulating everything to. Yeah.
Okay. Why don't you give me some
Repair?
some repairs?
Sure. I can repair it up for you. Almost been a Benny. Come on, repair guy. Let's do better. Okay. That is going to be a 8.
Yeah. I mean, you start at it. Like, you have a full list of things that need to get done, and you start going. And you're only like halfway through your list when Miguel comes back, and he's comes back, and it's just him, and he starts taking Ghost Rock out of his pockets. He's got a good, he ends up with a bunch of pieces that are about the size of a basketball, but there's a green glow to them.
Yeah. How's he looking? Is he looking okay?
He looks okay. He looks fine.
Yeah.
But he does say he does ask for a bucket.
Yeah. I got a bucket back in the room. Be like, you go collect more. Just be careful out there, right?
Sure.
And I'll gather up as much of the ghost rock as I can carry, and I'll take it. More or less trying to do this one the way that Hattie does it. He uses their water distillery as well too. I mean, with him, he doesn't need his own like shriek distillery, but with the water distillery and a lot of the other stuff that he can do, and with the mess hall, he's got a little bit more room that he can mess with that stuff.
I do need a bigger roll though, because this stuff is heavily irradiated.
Oh crap!
It's a -2 for you.
Yeah. Oh, poop. Here we go.
yeah, you can feel it. And I mean, from what you've seen in the caverns, all of this ghost rock that comes back is going to be irradiated.
Yeah. Actually, no, that is just for armor. Okay. Yeah, he's gonna. He feels it just like burning into his skin and everything. He's just, and his head starts to throb more from it. Just that giant knot that he sustained from the crash, and he just takes a breath, gathers it up, and then just it's like burning through his glove as well too. As he just walks over, sets it on the table. He walks over to the water distillery, and there's a couple other tubes that he pops in. It looks like a really high pressurized hose.
Right.
He also brings over his big old wrench, and he latches that on top of that. And the pressure gauge on this tube is one of those pressure ones that could kind of almost like how it's able to cut dirt off of stuff. So yeah, so enough pressure to where he can maybe start cutting it down a little bit more.
Okay.
And then he also has he's grabbed a couple burners as well, because I think he remembers that one way that he's able to do it is applying water to it and then heating it up really quick.
Okay.
And then the wrench is to apply pressure on it to squeeze all of that into
Interesting.
Yeah, into a small little trapping of it. So then that way he then puts it into another container, smokes it, and then it expands and creates the
shriek
stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. As you begin to heat it up, it starts to
scream.
Give me your. Is it a weird science?
I have to do a
roll?
weird science for this one. Yeah. Whoop. That is a 5.
Okay, that's a success. You begin to, slowly drip out the shriek, and there's a lot of this to be done. But some of it is a set the process and wait.
It's pretty much a success that gets me a gallon an hour,
right?
Essentially.
Okay.
So yeah.
It's happening. You have more repairs that you continue to do, and one of them finally takes you to the cockpit. Mm-hmm. You got a lot of stuff done, but you need to do something to fix this windshield because could break.
Yeah.
Mid-flight.
Yeah. How bad is the crack?
It's sort of spider webbed.
More spider web. Okay. Is there? I'm trying to think if there's a mending thing that I can do. Can I make a smarts roll?
Sure.
Yeah, I want to see if I can think of an idea on how to get that working. Okay. That's a 10. Yeah, he gets this thought that there is, between the coolant, he was thinking about this coolant and then another material, this is the same kind of epoxy that they used to put the panel on the backside, mixing up with that and then adding another catalyst chemical into that should be able to create a clear epoxy to sink into the cracks.
Okay, yeah, give me a repair roll.
That's a 5.
Okay.
No, 7.
All right, yeah, you start to do this and you're working, working on it slowly. But as you look through the window, one of the tunnels, it looks like, for a second you feel like you see a shape. Can you give me a notice roll?
Yeah. 3.
You feel like you saw something. Thought maybe it was Aster. Sort of.
All right. Can I try to mind link?
Sure.
To her? Yeah, I'll just reach out and just be like, "Hey, Aster, are you by the caves, or what direction did you go? Are you okay out there?"
You hear a response, but it sounds like, you really have this sort of pounding headache now from your exposure to radiation, and it just sort of sounds like.
Okay. Yeah, Killen would think. The first time that he's ever tried the mind link, especially bringing it off of Kesh as well too, and then probably just the interference and stuff.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Okay. I would continue working on the window.
Yeah. It seems like it's pretty good. You feel like you There's like a slight shake of the ship, and you hear things like, and like some rocks, definitely, out in front of you, like fall down from the top, like out of the ceiling. In fact, the whole thing shakes a little bit.
The ship does?
It seems like everything.
Okay. Brace, and I would try to see if I can contact Miguel. Be like, Miguel, there's rocks falling. Be careful outside. And then as I'm saying that, I want to run in and see if Kesh is okay.
He looks fine. Just sitting there with a bunch of, looks like Christmas lights on him.
All right. Could I tell just from that anything from in here that sparked something? If it ruined anything else from the inside?
Looks good from the inside. Give me a. I don't know if like common knowledge, or if you have any science or anything like that.
I've just got the weird science.
Really? Sure, I'll take a weird science.
Weird science?
At a -1.
Okay. Nope.
Okay. All right. Not sure what's going on, but definitely a dangerous spot, like in the middle of the storm. This island's weird.
Yeah. Are there? Does the ship have exterior lights?
Yeah. They're not on right now.
Not on. I want to immediately. I'll go over because I know that there's a panel that deals with a lot of lighting and everything. Pop that. I want to see if I can mess with that. See if I can help out on the outside, so then they at least have a beacon to come back to, and maybe it helps with Miguel. I know Miguel's somewhat close by. Maybe that'll help a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, they're not working right now, so try to give me a repair roll.
Sure. Pop underneath there. I got some wire splitters as I'm trying to just reconnect some stuff. That's a 6.
Yeah, you managed to get them on. They're sort of like, they're not the best. They're not as bright as they normally are, and they're like flicking in spaces, but they're on, and you can see more. It does feel like the cavern's like a little less
ominous.
Yeah, ominous.
Okay.
Okay. We are done with your section. However, I'm gonna come in and Diana's gonna do her section, and then you're gonna come back in and do some stuff with Diana.
Okay.
Okay. Great. So you and Jexa head off, sort of back the direction that you think the ship came in. But pretty soon, only like a couple hundred yards, there's a fork. There's a Y, and Jexa says like, "Hey, I'm gonna go left." Well, actually, she says, "Aster, you go right, and if you get out of range, come back."
All right. Do we still have our links in?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll be safe.
You too.
And
she goes off left with her little spectral radiated.
I'm going to turn around and watch her leave just to make sure, just in case this is the last time. I mean, I'm going off on myself, and Aster's very used to going off on herself, but
like maybe Jexa
this is the first time that works. Yeah, we haven't been on a solo mission in a while, so yes. The last time she was on a solo mission was her finding Scuzz.
Yeah.
So she just kind of looks, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but in her mind, she's just like, okay. Like she's thinking all the good times with Jexa and what she's done. And okay. And then she turns around.
Yeah. Yeah. Captain sort of looks back and gives you a nod and sort of scrambles upwards. Hers sort of slopes up, whereas your tunnel, you begin to walk into it, I guess.
Okay.
The tunnel...
I still have my light source.
You still have your light source.
Okay.
It looks, there's something ominous about it. Like the walls of the tunnel, the striations in the rock, it almost looks like sharp teeth.
Okay.
And is it the sound of the wind whipping through it? Or is it like the ghost rock? Or is it just something about this place? But it almost seems to moan.
Okay.
As you walk. Your footfalls seem so loud in this enclosed space. The the crunch of the rocks beneath your boots. Like, that's all you can hear, apart from the wind from the storm far, far above you. You are alone.
Okay. I would take my steps a lot more slower,
Okay.
more calculated, like I usually do when I'm on my own, to try to not make as much noise or draw a lot of attention just in case, and just super cautious.
Sure. Give me a stealth roll.
Oh. I'll keep my 3. It's a 3.
Okay. I mean, it's hard just because the ground is so rocky. It's like rock on rock. So it's, even when you try to be really quiet, it's still like a,
Yeah.
then there's no getting rid of that.
Okay.
You just keep going. The wind whipping through the tunnels. It's dark apart from the small glow of your glow stick and the green glow of this irradiated ghost rock that's all over the place.
Okay.
You hear like the sound of some like rocks like cascading down the wall. Not a lot, just like little pebbles and stuff.
I shine my light towards it.
Just doesn't reach up super far. Give me a notice roll.
5.
It just looks dark, and there's a flash of scarlet lightning, and you see what looks like a giant eye, but it's just a figment of your imagination, or is it? It's like the shape of the eye in the storm cloud, but the wasted west, like takes on ominous shapes all the time. It's just creepy. It doesn't feel safe like the perfection feels safe.
No.
But you don't see anything terrestrial. Just some rocks falling off the top of the mesa. The wind is blowing really hard.
Do I still see more of these teeth?
Yeah, but the whole thing about the Wasted West is like it's sort of insidious, and the natural features tend to take on that insidious nature.
Okay. I'll continue moving forward.
Sure. You keep going. Give me a notice roll.
3.
Okay. You keep going, and it feels like your path now definitely feels like it's sloping downward.
Okay. I shine my light down to see how steep or where it's going, if it reaches
Okay,
somewhat.
yeah. Give me another notice roll at a +2.
5.
Yeah, when you shine your light down, it looks like there's something buried underneath some of like the sand and rubble that's on the ground. It looks like something shiny.
I'm gonna start digging with my hands to see what that is.
Sure. When you do, you see it looks like some metal, a smooth, long piece of metal, and as you brush away, it looks pretty long, and it's just sitting on the ground, going off one way and down the way you were sort of headed.
Can I examine the metal? Like, is it, or it's just leading from one end to the other?
I mean, it just like you've got like 6 feet of it. You can brush off more if you want.
I'll brush off more.
Okay, give me another notice roll.
6, 12, 13.
Okay, yeah, when you brush off more, there's a second piece of metal about 3 feet or so away from it, like running parallel to it.
Okay.
And it looks like as you keep going, there's at least the remnants of a piece of wood that runs perpendicular to it.
I start to think there's a staircase here, and I start digging to see if there's stairs.
You dig more, and it's not stairs. It's two, because they lay flat. It's strips of metal and connected with perpendicular pieces of wood, like every 2 feet or so, regularly.
Would I know this is a train in this world, or do I know about trains?
Yeah.
Then I start to think this is a tunnel for a train back
But
before
it's
Judgment
definitely
Day.
too small to be an actual train. Instead of like train tracks, it's maybe only this far apart.
Would I know this is a mine shaft?
Could be. That's something that you might know.
Okay, then I continue to follow.
Follow
this.
down?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you follow it, and you keep walking, and sort of fuzzily in your mind, it's not coming in as clear. You almost feel like you have a headache in a weird way, and you hear sort of. It almost sounds like in the distance, like a thought pops in your mind. Mm-hmm. It says, "Keep your eyes up high. Things knocking rocks are out."
Jexa?
Mm-hmm. She didn't seem panicked. It's just like sort of hard to hear. What the crystal connection of the mind link normally is replaced with like a dull headache.
Yeah. Okay. I'll come back to see if she can hear me. But yes, I think I found a mine shaft from before. It's dust. I'm going to follow it. Jexa, just please be safe. I'm just curious to see what this thing is. And then she's going to continue following these metal rods and stuff.
Sure. You walk a decent ways, and then you hear like a
machinery or water.
Yeah, rhythmic like that. Give me a notice roll.
12, 13, 14.
Yeah, definitely the water.
Have we seen water in a while, or?
I mean, the whole maze. It's like land that's been broken up. It's like shattered California, basically.
Okay.
So this is an island. So.
Oh, right. Then I'm gonna head towards the water.
You come around a corner, and it's brighter here. I mean, it's still dark because of the storm, but it's lighter than the inside of this cavern. And give me a notice roll.
Ooh. I'm gonna give you a Benny this time.
Sure.
That's a 3.
Okay. You do see some stuff that's pretty obvious. This is like a narrow inlet where these caverns meet the water, and the sound is the storm-fueled waves like crashing up to it. There is like a little encampment here. There's a few shacks, sort of ramshackle shacks, and some sort of big floating rectangular thing that's like half pulled up onto shore between some wooden posts right where the cavern meets the water. And there's a little minecart down near that thing, and some debris and some tools and stuff. There's a little encampment here.
I'm gonna check for fresh footsteps or fresh any. I mean, yeah, I want to see if there's footsteps first off, and then I want to start exploring these shacks.
Give me a notice roll.
12, 13.
There are definitely some footfalls and stuff that go off in different directions, but none of them seem particularly fresh.
Okay. Then I'm going to start.
There's some lots of marks where it looks like stuff has been dragged around, and like some boot prints and stuff.
I'm going to start investigating the shacks.
Okay. Yeah, you walk down and there's a couple shacks. They look like they're made of some wood, but mostly like junk, like an old highway sign put together to form these sort of like hobo shacks, basically.
Right.
But that's pretty normal for the Weird West. They look darkened. There's no light coming out of them. It's just these dark shacks and a doorway, a very black doorway where it's hard to see what's inside of it.
I am going to head towards the doorway and then go in the doorway and shine my light.
Great. You shine your light into this darkened shack, and this shack is the bigger of the two. And it looks like there is a central table. Looks like it's made up of like a really old door and some benches. And there is really primitive shelving set up around some like canned goods and stuff.
I start looking at the canned goods because I haven't seen canned goods in a while. So I start to look at dates or just what they are.
They're really old, but and any canned good would be really old at this point. But there's some other things that are definitely post-apocalyptic that you see. They're just like too, put together, jerry-rigged to be from. And this whole shack, in fact, like no one would be using a highway sign to build a hut like pre-apocalypse.
Right.
This is, there's some like mess kits, like some shitty tin plates and like forks and knives and stuff.
If there's nothing else here of interest, I would go investigate the other little shacks.
Okay. There's like maybe 2 or 3 other shacks that are similar size.
I'll go to another one.
Okay.
Whatever the closest one is.
Yeah, the next closest one, it looks like there's about 4 primitive cots set up. There's like foot lockers. Next to them, there's some clothes, on a hook. It looks like a couple hard hats on a coat hook.
I look at the coats to see if there's any like insignias or tags or like company name or.
Doesn't look like a company name. It looks like sort of generic coveralls and stuff. They're definitely like workers' clothes. They've been patched a lot. The hats have like lanterns on them.
I'm gonna take one of the hats and see if the lanterns still work.
It flicks on for a second, and the incandescent bulb instantly.
Okay. I'll place it back on the rack, and I wanna look at these foot lockers. I wanna see what's in here.
You pop open a couple, and it just looks like spare clothes for the most part.
Okay.
But one of them you pop open, and you move some clothes and stuff. One has like an old picture, and one, when you move a jacket off the top, you see a magazine. Looks like in pretty good condition. It's got a big front splash picture of what looks like a very scantily clad woman. And it's titled Kevin Cam's Girls.
I can't read that.
Okay.
But I will take it, and I kind of laugh to myself. I'll roll it up, put it in my bag, and I'll make a note to give it to Miguel. This photograph, what is the photograph of?
The photograph, it looks like it's like a Polaroid. And it looks like a man smiling. It looks like pretty rugged, like working guy. In fact, you can see it looks like his face has like a bunch of ash or soot or something, except there's like a line where he was wearing something where it wasn't there. But he's got his arms around, it looks like a couple other guys that have a similar look to them.
I'm going to take that photograph and pocket it as well.
Sure.
You said there was a long, I'm assuming it's going to be some type of boat or something, a long thing on the shore.
Yep.
I'm going to go towards that object.
Yeah. You get up to it, and it looks like a barge that's been repatched together. Like a flat-bottomed boat.
Okay.
Without an engine. Like it needs to be pulled by something. And it looks like there's a bunch of ghost rock in it. Maybe like a third full, quarter full, something like that.
How heavy is that?
Ghost rock?
Yeah.
I mean, it's super heavy.
Oh, because they have the mine shafts. So there wouldn't be any way for me to pick up one and bring it down?
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of rocks and stuff, but it does have a faint glowing green to it.
If there's some smaller ones, I'd probably pocket a couple of the smaller ones.
Okay, can you give me a bigger roll?
Yes. 13.
Yeah, okay. I mean, you can feel the heat of this radiation, but hasn't affected you yet. You hear sort of in your head, in the background, really far away. I think I got it.
Jexa, yes, I'll be right there. I think I've discovered nothing. I'll tell you when I get back.
I'm trying to come back and answer class.
What you said? Yes. She's gonna.
I can't hear it.
I'll tell you when I come back. She's gonna look at the other 2 shacks real quick before she goes.
Okay. The second one is a lot like the first. The third one, give me a notice roll.
I'm gonna give you a Benny.
Sure.
That was a 2. Oh, same roll. 2.
Okay. It looks pretty much the same, except there's one boot by one of the cots. And the cot is, like, the sheets are super dark and splotchy.
Like blood? I walk over.
It's hard to tell.
I'm gonna walk over to the one boot.
Just looks like a boot. Maybe steel-toed. They're definitely workers' boots.
Why would it be one boot? Like someone was running. I'm gonna lift up the cot. Is there anything underneath?
No, but there's like an ovular
Oh,
dark stain on the underside of the cot.
I just immediately think someone just died here. Someone died here. All right. I turn around. I get out of that shack, and I'll investigate the last one before I move on.
Okay. The last one, it looks like it's a tool shed. It has a bunch of like shovels and buckets and axes and stuff like that.
I'm going to see if I can
Or
grab
pickaxes,
a
rather.
couple of those to bring back to the ship.
Okay.
Do you want a vigor roll?
No.
Okay, so I'll grab one of each, I guess, a shovel, a bucket. And you said what else?
A pickaxe?
Although we have pickaxes, right? I'm not going to worry about the pickaxe. Okay. If there's nothing else here, I'm going to look around again, just in case. And I'm going to look up to the sky to see if I see this eye, or what feels like something was watching.
Right. You definitely have a feeling something's watching, but when you look up at the sky, instead of looking like an eye, it looks like 100 little fingers dangling out of the bottoms of the clouds.
And I see this.
Yeah, I mean, but they're made of clouds. You know, they just like look like the shape of hundreds of fingers, just sort of on the bottom of this cloud as it undulates with the storm. You hear another sound of like rocks sliding off to your right somewhere.
I look over and I stay still.
Yeah, give me a notice roll.
5.
When you look over, it's just some of the rocks like sliding down the side of this canyon wall, and they settle just as you look at them.
Okay. I mean, at this point, she would, I'm thinking something happened. That person died on that cot, and it doesn't feel good inside. Like, she doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel right. If there's nothing else to look at or to examine, then I would start heading back to meet up with Jexa.
As you begin to head back, back up these, the little spots where the metal reveals the minecart tracks beyond, you make a turn back towards the canyon you came down to, the crag that leads back to the Perfection, when you hear a noise of footfalls.
I immediately hide my light, and is there anywhere to hide or no?
I mean, it's a craggy area. You could press up against the wall or behind a little outcropping or something.
I'll press against the wall and stay very still because I don't know if it's one of them or if it's someone else or
Yeah.
what.
You just hear a...
I wait.
Okay, give
Very
me a
quietly.
stealth roll.
3. I'm gonna save my last penny.
Yeah, and then from like around the, you can hear someone like just around the outcropping. The footfalls stop.
Yeah, I'm like listening.
Hello?
Scuzz? Oh, it's Aster. It's Aster.
Hey.
Hi, what are you doing out here?
When you come around the corner, you see Scuzz. He doesn't look the best, and he's completely naked.
What? Scuzz, what? I rip off my scarf here and I hand it to him. I don't think I have anything else I can give you. What happened?
My head's pounding. I just...
You need to get back to the ship.
There was fallen rocks and stuff, and I don't really remember what went on.
No, let's get you back to the ship. You need to tell me what happened. Why are you out here? You're supposed to be inside the ship.
Oh, I didn't know where you went or where anybody else went, and I went out looking, heard rocks falling, and
Did you
just
get hit
my
in the
head's...
head from the rocks?
I don't think...
No, it's the radiation. Let's go. And I put his arm around me, and I help him, and I'm like trying to book it while taking most of his weight.
Yeah, give me a notice roll.
9.
Yeah, his weight just feels all funny on you, and his skin feels like sickly.
Oh no. Would I know it's radiation?
I mean,
Being out in the world for so long?
You've known Scuzz long enough
Yeah.
to know that he doesn't react well to radiation.
No.
I mean, obviously, earlier today we saw that.
Yes, so I'm quickly hurrying.
Can you give me an athletics roll to help him out?
Yes. 6. 4.
Yeah, I mean, you're able to, like, bear his weight. He feels so heavy on you, you know?
It's alright. She doesn't care. She's doing it. So,
You guys keep making your way, as quickly as you can back down the tunnels. The wind howling seems to still moan, like... The walls just seem to be 1,000 smiling faces.
stay with me.
Yeah.
Stay with me.
We're
going to get you into that med bay. Stay with me.
Where did everybody else go?
They're searching for stuff, the parts for the ship. I mean, I think Miguel is supposed to bring you I have some ghost rock on me. I found some, but I haven't found
Comms array?
yes, that thing. I haven't found that. Comray.
Oh, right, because the comm array got knocked off too.
Yes. Hey, stay with me.
I'm here.
All right. And I'm like booking it as fast as I can with his weight.
Yeah, you finally, it takes a little bit, but you make it back to the Y, where you and Jexa split up, and you can, like, in the distance, see the light. It looks like the exterior lights of the ship have been turned on. They're blinking a little bit, but they're mostly bright.
Okay, then I know we're going the right way, and I keep going.
As we start getting, like, closer to, like, just, like, I don't know, I don't, oh, that light is hurting my eyes.
Okay.
Gosh.
I rip off my arm scarves and I tie it on his eyes and I said, okay, just follow me, just be on me, okay, stay on me, and I'll make sure that whatever light is shining, it's not at him.
No, it hurts. It hurts.
Okay, it's okay. We're almost there. You need to stay with me. Be
No,
strong.
I can't.
You have to be strong. You've taught me to be strong. You have to be strong.
Tell him to turn it off.
Who's that? The ship? I calm into the ship. Poe, are you there?
Poe isn't working anymore.
Jexa, you there? Miguel, anyone?
Okay. Let's stop here.
Okay.
Let's get everyone back in.